the CEO of Brown Brothers Harriman, who was George Herbert Walker, stepped out in 1924 as the CEO and turned it over to his son-in-law, who was Prescott Bush. Okay? And Prescott Bush became the CEO for Brown Brothers Harriman. George Herbert Walker stepped out, formed the Union Bank of New York, capitalized by the financiers in the Brown Brothers Harriman, created that Union Bank of New York, set up a subsidiary in Germany known as the Bank of Shipping and Commerce, with this guy Fritz Theisen that ran that, and started giving loans to Germany. And to the Nazi movement. They financed the construction of the international headquarters of the Nazi Party. That bank system did. And they wanted to set them up as the bulwark against Bolshevism. Because what had happened is right at the end of
They prefer fascism.
That's right. Because at the end of World War I, the people in Russia rose up and threw out the Tsar.
Right.
Who had been joined in World War I and were depleting the resources of Russia. So they threw the Tsar out and set up a People's Socialist Republic there. And Robert Lansing immediately sent a U.S. military expeditionary force into Russia to try to crush the Bolsheviks, which people, 99.9% of anybody listening doesn't even know about that.
We don't know.
They sent in a whole foreign military expeditionary force to try to crush the Russian Revolution in the cradle. And that's what started that hostility toward the West, okay? And so that thing has been going on since 1917, October. There's been this effort on the part of the elite, who are represented by Brown Brothers Harriman and Sullivan and Cromwell, the Union Bank of New York, and that whole element to crush the social democratic movement around the world.
Which happened in recent elections.
Oh, that's right. Same
thing's happening again.
What I'm saying is, historically, what happened is that this began in right after the Treaty of Versailles. They was setting up this fascist set of governments in Germany, okay, to be the bulwark against Bolshevism, as they called it, in Europe, has wedded this elite to the whole economic theory of fascism.
Right.
So fascist capitalism is a lot different than just a free trade.
Right.
It's a lot different than just entrepreneurial spirit or free business. I mean, everybody has a right, if they engage in bringing some people together and setting up a business and making shoes or making cars or whatever they want to do, as long as they're willing to accept responsibility for anybody they damage.
Yeah, but not rigging the entire game in your favor.
No.
Without our knowledge.
And that's what's happened. And so what we're saying here is that element has been here since the beginning. And so what happened is that, for example, immediately at the end of World War II, for example, when the G2, the head of U.S. Army intelligence in the Philippines, Edward Lansdale, discovered that the Japanese had buried billions, trillions actually, dollars worth of gold in platinum and silver and stuff all through the Philippines.
Right.
They uncovered a bunch of it, and they told Truman about this. And rather than turn this over back to the people who Japan had stolen it from, all through Asia, from 1926 to 1940, that whole thing. What they did is they took the gold, 12 twelfths of it, which totaled $1.2 trillion. And
those wars are still going on today.
And put it into a private trust. And that MacArthur was told about this by Ed Lansdale, and MacArthur sent Lansdale, and MacArthur's G2, a guy named Charles Willoughby, sent him to meet with Truman, and they set up the meeting, brokered by his chief of staff. And they met, and they said, as soon as they realized what they had with this $1.2 trillion in gold and stuff, what they did is they didn't tell the American government about it. They didn't tell the American people about it. What they did is they got two partners from Brown Brothers Harriman to become the trustees for this. And then
did that go into black ops projects from that point?
First thing it did is started funding fascists around the world to defeat the partisans.
Right.
The partisans that had fought in World War II in all the different European countries against the fascists. The elitists in the United States didn't want them to be elected, to be mayors or governors or anything else. They wanted those people out.